54 degrees Fahrenheit. That is the temperature 6 feet beneath your yard right now. While your furnace fights to raise 15-degree Fahrenheit winter air up to 68-degree Fahrenheit, the ground is already holding 54-degree Fahrenheit for free. The gap costs you roughly $1,100 every year. By the end of this video, you will know how to close it yourself in a single weekend for under $2,000. And why American building codes have never mentioned it. In 1991, Wolfgang Feist stood in a half-finished building in Darmstadt with a single pipe running from the yard into the basement. His colleagues told him it would not work. That building has now been monitored for over 30 years. It uses 90% less heating energy. The pipe has never been touched. Today, 65,000 European buildings use the same system. There is a community in southern Tunisia called Matmata. 2,000 people live there. Researchers say they have been living there for 3,000 years. Their homes are not on the surface. They are carved into soft rock, centered on open pits 20 to 30 feet deep, with rooms cut horizontally into the walls at different levels and connected by tunnels. You descend a stone ramp into a courtyard that exists entirely below grade. Everything around you is rock. The surface temperature swings from below freezing in winter to over 110 degrees in summer. Inside those dwellings, measured by researchers across multiple annual cycles, the temperature holds steady between 65 degrees and 68 degrees all year, without heating, cooling, or any energy input at all. Some of these structures are over 1,000 years old and still occupied. UNESCO recognized that they solved climate control with a shovel and never stopped. 5,000 miles east in central Iran, Persian engineers built qanats, hand-dug underground water channels running up to 100 feet below the surface and tens of miles in length, delivering cold mountain groundwater to desert cities through nothing but gravity. But the qanat did more than move water. Engineers noticed that air around the deep shafts was dramatically cooler than anything at the surface, and they started routing building ventilation through those underground galleries before it entered the living spaces. A wind catcher on the roof pulled hot air down through the structure, across the qanat-cooled tunnels, and into the inhabited rooms. Oxford physicists who studied surviving examples measured the result. Indoor temperatures 25 degrees to 30 degrees below outside air, no electricity, no refrigerant, no moving parts. Two civilizations, two different methods, the same discovery. The ground beneath your feet holds a temperature your heating and cooling system spends a fortune trying to create. Wanam palento la sas. Here is how it works. The Earth is a thermal battery, not a metaphor, but a physical fact with a specific mechanism. Every day, the sun deposits heat into the surface. Every night, the ground radiates some of it back into the sky. At the surface, temperatures swing with every weather system, but the deeper you go, the less those swings matter. By 6 feet down, in most of North America, the temperature barely moves at all. The soil just sits at the mean annual temperature of whatever climate is above it, within 2 or 3 degrees, 12 months a year. In Boston, that means the ground at 10 feet holds between 50 and 53 degrees, whether the surface air is -10 in January or 95 in July. That is a 50-degree heating advantage in winter and a 43-degree cooling advantage in summer, sitting beneath every residential lot in the city, doing nothing. An earth tube captures it with the simplest possible engineering. You bury a standard corrugated drainage pipe, 4 to 8 inches in diameter, available at any building supply store, 6 to 10 feet below grade, running 100 to 200 feet under your yard before it enters the house. One end connects to a screened exterior air intake. The other connects to your existing ventilation system. In winter, 15 degrees Fahrenheit outside air enters the intake and travels through 150 feet of pipe, surrounded by 52 degrees Fahrenheit soil. By the time it reaches the house, that air is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Your furnace now lifts incoming air 20 degrees instead of 53. That is roughly 60% less heating load before it fires once. In summer, the reverse happens. 95-degree air enters the pipe and exits between 65 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 25 to 30 degrees of pre-cooling with no compressor, no refrigerant, only a ventilation fan. Every peer-reviewed study on this technology finds the same range, 30 to 60% less energy for heating and cooling. One objection gets raised immediately: condensation. Warm, humid summer air passing through cool pipes will condense moisture. This is real, and it is managed the same way your air conditioner handles it, with a slight slope to a condensate drain. European installations running since the 1990s show zero moisture problems when the slope is correct. The pipe has no moving parts, requires no maintenance, and has a design life exceeding 50 years. It will be conditioning your air long after the furnace it assists has been replaced twice. One Pimentel Dolagio, so why has no building code in America ever mentioned it? Like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more videos like this. The global heating and cooling industry is a $240 billion market, and every dollar of it depends on mechanical systems running continuously inside buildings. Equipment sales, maintenance contracts, and energy consumption. All three revenue streams require your furnace and your air conditioner to be doing the work. A buried pipe that reduces that work by 30 to 60% is not a product anyone in that industry has a reason to sell you. So nobody does. This is not because anyone banned it. It is because the system that governs American construction was built by people whose revenue depends on the alternative. The International Residential Code and the International Mechanical Code are updated every 3 years by committees of mechanical engineers, heating contractors, equipment manufacturers, and building industry representatives. Earth tubes have never appeared in the prescriptive compliance sections of either code. A builder who wants to include one must apply under a provision called alternate means and methods, a process requiring engineering documentation and plan review fees between $2,000 and $6,000. In most jurisdictions, the paperwork costs more than the pipe. The contractor side is no different. No standard licensing category covers earth tube installation. A heating contractor who recommends one is recommending himself out of 30 to 60% of his future service revenue from that property. And when you sell your home, an appraiser calculates value from comparable sales, but no previous transaction has ever established a market premium for a buried pipe that saves $800 a year. The market has no way to see it, no conspiracy, no ban. Just a code that never included it, contractors who lose money if they sell it, and an appraisal system that cannot count it. The result is indistinguishable from prohibition, and it has held for decades. The evidence that matters most does not come from a laboratory. Coober Pedy is a mining town in the South Australian outback, 500 miles north of Adelaide. Surface temperatures there range from below freezing in winter to 122 degrees in summer. Roughly 60% of the town's 3,500 residents live underground, in full homes carved into the soft sandstone hills. Kitchens, bedrooms, living rooms, and tiled bathrooms, all cut from rock that holds a constant 72 degrees year-round. Australia's National Science Agency has published formal reports on these homes as a model for passive climate adaptation. The community has been living this way for over 60 years, proving the same physics every single day. The Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory studied this technology directly, and their conclusion was blunt. The barriers are not technical and not economic, but structural. The code pathway does not exist. Meanwhile, Denmark, Switzerland, and Germany have had earth tubes in their official building energy guidelines since the 1990s. Studies from Athens, Darmstadt, and Berkeley consistently measure 30 to 60% reductions in heating and cooling energy. The physics is not in dispute, the adoption is. Ungzolodranization. What does it actually take to install one yourself? Less than you would expect. You rent a trencher for a day or two. Dig a trench 6 to 10 feet deep across your yard and lay 100 to 200 feet of standard corrugated drainage pipe. One end gets a screened air intake above grade. The other connects to your existing ventilation ductwork with a standard fitting. Slope the pipe slightly toward a condensate drain. Backfill the trench. You are done. Owner-builders across homesteading communities have been documenting this process and the costs for years. $800 to $2,500 in materials and equipment rental. The performance matches the academic data exactly. Warmer air in winter, cooler air in summer. A furnace that runs dramatically less. The pipe is standard. The trench takes a weekend. The physics has been working beneath your property since before your house was built. The only decision left is whether you act on it before the next heating bill arrives. Like and subscribe if you liked this video.